With the release of Godzilla Vs Kong, it's time to rank all 4 Monsterverse movies from the worst to the best. Let's get right into it. Alright, coming at number 4, we have Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now this film is just bad to me. I barely could get through this movie, it was that bad. Like, sure enough, the cinematography is really good in this movie at some moments with the monsters. And it's a really good final battle with all, like, Godzilla versus whoever the hell the 3 dragon was. But really good CGI fights, and like I love all the monsters. Very cool designs, and there are a lot of great shots inside this movie. But that doesn't mean that it's a good movie, and I feel like that's kind of what this movie is. It's just trying to like put all these good shots in so it looks like a great film, but it isn't. And then it's trying to be more than just like monsters fighting, and that's all you want to see in a monster movie. Like, some good shots would be nice, but yeah, monsters fighting. But this movie tries to be more than that and tries to like go on to the original Godzilla, like the 2014 one, and make it like more like important. And I think they just are trying way too hard on this movie, and that just dampens this movie for me so much. And I really am just not a big fan of this film. I want to like it, but I just don't like it at all. Alright, moving on to number 3, we have Godzilla 2014. Now, Godzilla 2014 is kind of a meh film in my opinion. It's not trying to be like too big of a film. Like, it's not trying to like tell the audience like everything that's going on, but it's just also another movie that's trying a little bit too hard, when this one's like, it's trying, but it's also not trying at some moments. Like, the problem with this one, I feel like, is that they're trying at some scenes, and then when you get the monster fights, is what was good about the last one, is that there is no really good monster fights. The only reason this one's above the last one is because this one had a decently better story than the last one. And I like the actors in this one much more than in Godzilla King of Monsters. And it didn't make sense why they weren't in the second one, so it doesn't make sense. But other than that, it's an alright film. I wouldn't say it's oh my god, or it's no special monster movie, but it gets its job done. It's a Godzilla film. Godzilla's actually barely in the movie. Anyways, moving on to number 2, we have Kong Skull Island. Now, Kong Skull Island, the reason I really like this one much more than the Godzilla movies or like the Kong movies is because this one had a much like a theme to it when the Godzilla movies were just monster movies. This one is a monster movie, but it also feels like a Vietnam movie, and they kind of like made like it feel and have a vibe to it, you know. It takes place in the 60s. It's kind of cool in my opinion. That's why I really like this one. I like all the actors like Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, Tom Hiddleston, Wreck-It Ralph. I like all of them, but yeah, there's some moments in this film that kind of drag on, you know. It kind of turns into an adventure movie, which is what it is, but it kind of drags on with the adventure part. But other than that, a really good film. Great shots inside of it. Definitely the like scene where they put the gas mask on and they run through like the green dust area. Love the monsters inside of it. Very cool idea, like having the skull crushers and having all the other monsters. Very cool. Really like it, and really like the vibe of this movie. But going to number 1, we have Godzilla Vs Kong. Now this movie was so surprising to me. I did not expect this movie to be as good as it was, but it is just a really good film. Really fun. It's just monsters fighting. That's all I wanted to see. And when they're not fighting, there's some moments that drag on, and I feel like they could have put Godzilla more in it because it's Godzilla vs Kong. It's not Kong versus Godzilla, but there's a lot of Kong in this movie, which I really like and I was really hoping to see. But when they're not on screen, you know, you got like Millie Bobby Brown and like the kid from New Zealand and Brian Treese, whatever. I can't remember these names, but you got these guys in here, and it's kind of cool, like seeing what they're going through, and it all connects at the end. You got some cool synth music inside. Actually, probably the coolest thing inside of this movie is that there's two separate stories with Godzilla and Kong. Godzilla isn't really in his own story, but like you have the little girl with Kong, and then you have Millie Bobby Brown with Godzilla, and then they tie in by the end. Really cool, really like that. And I feel like this is just a solid monster movie. I was very surprised by this movie. It just blew me away after like midway through that this was actually a good movie. Anyways, tell me all 4 Monsterverse movies ranked in your opinion down in the comments below. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching.